Hello, Jonathan Rayo here with Simplified Guitar, and in this lesson, I want to teach you how to play the song That's Who I Praise by Brandon Lake. What I'm going to do first is play all the way through the song for you, and at the end, I will break it down and explain it in more detail. Make sure to stick around for that. For now, let's go ahead and play all the way through the song. I wanna dance like David, I want faith like Paul, I wanna sing like Silas, tearing down the prison walls. I wanna face that fire, it won't burn me though. God's got my back, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego. I wanna walk like Moses, right through the waves. One day I'll see that promised land, no longer slaves. Though the fear is talking, no, it can't take out my faith. I'm gonna praise, I'm gonna praise. I praise the mountain moving, body raising, breaker of chains. Gonna praise, I'm gonna praise. I praise the heavens seated, undefeated, highest in names. That's who I praise. Hey, that's who I praise. That's who I praise. I want a gift like Mary, I want to break my vase. I want to sleep like Daniel, even in a lion's cave. I'm gonna get that promise, just like Jericho. Yeah, I know what will make it fall. I'm gonna praise, I'm gonna praise. I praise the mountain moving, body raising, breaker of chains. Gonna praise, I'm gonna praise. I praise the heavens seated, undefeated, highest in names. That's who I praise. Yeah, I praise the God who's proven He can do impossible things. That's who I praise. Hey, that's who I praise. That's who I praise. He is the Lion of Judah. He is the Lamb that was slain, the only one who's worthy, worthy, worthy of all of His names. That's who I praise. He is the risen Messiah. He is the Ancient of Days, the only one who's worthy, worthy, worthy of all of His names. That's who I praise. I'm gonna praise, I'm gonna praise. I praise the mountain moving, body raising, breaker of chains. Gonna praise, I'm gonna praise. I praise the heavens seated, undefeated, highest in names. That's who I praise. Hey, I praise the God who's proven He can do impossible things. That's who I praise. Hey, that's who I praise. That's who I praise. I wanna love like Jesus, that kind of grace. I wanna live like I've got no more precious time to waste. I'm gonna give Him glory with all my things, 'cause there's no greater, stronger, higher name. That's who I praise. All right, before I break this song down, if you would like to check out the chord chart for this song, you can click right up there to head over to my Patreon page. So for this song, I am using the G chord family, but I've got my capo on the first fret, and that's just for the sake of my voice. That puts it in the key of G sharp. But for the chords, I'm using the C add 9 chord. We also have a G chord, a D over F sharp chord, and an E minor 7 chord. So this is the 1, 4, 5, and 6 of the scale. This is very, very common, especially in praise and worship songs. So in terms of the chords, it's very easy. With these particular chord variations, we don't ever have to move our third and fourth finger. They stay there on the third fret of the B and E string for the whole song. We only have to worry about our first and second finger, moving them around. So in terms of transitions, it's very, very easy to transition between these chords once you learn these shapes. You do want to keep in mind, though, for that C add 9, you don't want to strum that low E string. You want to avoid it. Start your strumming on the A string for that chord. But for all the other chords, the G, E minor, and the D over F sharp, you can strum all 6 strings for those. For the strum pattern, we're going to be using the hyperdrive pattern, and this is an 8-beat pattern. We're going to have 8 down strums, and then an up strum after beat 8, and then that pattern's going to repeat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and. So that's the pattern, but you do want to put your emphasis on beats 1, 4, and 7, and that's very important for this pattern, where the emphasis falls. So, and by emphasis, I mean you want to strum harder on those beats. So 1, 4, and 7, you're strumming harder. Everything else, you're strumming a little bit lighter. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1. That's how you want it to sound and feel. And if you want, you can practice your pattern like that. Strum, mute your strings, practice that pattern by itself so you can get it set to memory before you apply it to the song. And that's pretty much it for this song. We're going to have that C to G to D for the verses. Just one strum pattern for each one of those chords. The D is going to be 2. And then we've got that E minor thrown in the verses after that D, instead of holding that D for 2 measures. And that's pretty much it. The progression is very easy. I think the most complicated part of this song is going to be the speed. It's a very upbeat, fast song. So you're going to be making those transitions quickly. You got to get used to that strum pattern. And another thing that I did for this song is I did some palm muting in the verses, and then I went to full loud strums in the chorus. And the palm muting is a great way to add some dynamics within the song as a whole, because you can soften the verses, make them lighter, make them quieter with palm muting, and that gives you somewhere to go when you get to the chorus. So for the palm muting, basically and palm muting really only works for faster, more upbeat songs. Because you need that repetitive movement of the strumming hand in order to keep the sound going. Because if you just do one palm mute, it's dead. There's no sound there. So you got to have that constant sound coming through the guitar, because the palm muting is deadening your strings. But basically what we're doing, we're strumming the strings with our pick at the same time that we're letting our palm land on the strings. So we're muting what we're strumming at the same time that we're strumming it. So it gives it, you can hear the notes, but they're deadening. It's a very similar idea to the left pedal of a piano. The left pedal of the piano kind of mutes the strings while you're playing them. And this is the same idea that we're doing with the guitar. We're muting the strings at the same time that we're playing them. So we want to do that for the verses, and then when we get to that chorus, we can let go of that palm, release our palm from the strings, and do full strums where the strings just resonate fully, and that creates a nice juxtaposition between the verse and the chorus. If we go from quiet to loud, and that's a great way to do that. So if you do have questions for the song, you can let me know in the comment section of this post on my Patreon page. Again, that's right up there or down below in the description. I do answer all my patrons' questions, and I look forward to seeing you in the next song tutorial. Take care.